your girl, and today we're gonna talk about like the most important lady in comics. That's right, today we're gonna talk about Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman, Wonder Woman. All the world is waiting for you.
Wonder Woman is one of those characters that everybody knows about. Like, I'm not even kidding. She has movies, TV shows, lunchboxes, underwear. But, like, not a lot of people really know Wonder Woman. And even worse so, a lot of people don't know what comics they should be reading when they want to get into somebody like Wonder Woman. Because, like, let's be honest, there's, like, a million stories out there, and not all of them are very good. And she's been rebooted, like, 5 million times. So, like, but we'll get into that. So, I've been wanting to do this video for a while, and it's kind of gone through a couple of different editing processes, but I decided, you know what, we're just going to chill out, and we're going to talk about Wonder Woman. We're going to talk about some of my favorite Wonder Woman comics that I think you should be reading. We're going to talk about some Wonder Woman stories that I think are easy for new beginners to get into, or even if you've never read Wonder Woman but read comics. I just want to talk about Wonder Woman, okay? Because she's cool, she's rad, and like, even with somebody like me, I like struggle with a character like Wonder Woman because, like I said, not all the comics are very good. Now, I'm not gonna lie, part of the reasoning for pushing out this video when I am is because of Wonder Woman 84, and I told myself I wasn't going to talk about it, but you know what? I'm going to give myself 30 seconds to talk about why Wonder Woman 84 is absolute garbage. So first off, Wonder Woman 84, it's all about her being in love with Steve Trevor. She's basically got Little Mermaid syndrome to the point where all she cares about is Steve Trevor and she doesn't care about anybody else. She actually complains about being Wonder Woman, and I can't believe that that actually happened, that she complained about being Wonder Woman. And then there's the fact that Cheetah, who is this badass person who really doesn't get that much screen time as Cheetah, you know, we have to demonize her because she went after an abuser and an attacker, and that's her strike into villainy. But Maxwell Lord was pretty cool, and I kind of liked him, but Wonder Woman still should have snapped his neck. Okay, that's all I'm going to let myself have. We're going to talk about Wonder Woman now. So before I jump into all of my comic book recommendations and my favorite books, I want to give a huge, humongous shout out to my best friend, Emilia, aka Llama Emilia. She is literally like my Wonder Woman go-to. I consider her like the Wonder Woman fanatic, and she knows literally everything about Wonder Woman. And she massively helped me curate this list because I was going to her and I'm like, hey, are these Wonder Woman picks good? And she'd be like, well, they're good, but you also need to put XYZ on your list. And I'm like, shit, you're right. So Emilia, thank you so much for helping me curate this list. My friend Emilia also had a Twitch/YouTube channel where she regularly talked about Wonder Woman. It was really rad, and it was called the Wonder Woman Themysciran Agenda. Like I said, it was a Twitch stream. I don't think she does it as much anymore, if at all. However, you can watch all of the replays on her YouTube channel, which I will link in the bio below. You should definitely check it out because she seriously thinks about Wonder Woman the way that like we all should be thinking about Wonder Woman. So Emilia, thank you so much for helping me curate this list because I couldn't have done it without you. Thank you, I love you. So where we're gonna start with Wonder Woman obviously is her origin, and that's like something huge with Wonder Woman where you talk to anybody. I don't care if they've just watched the TV show. I don't care if they've like read comics for years. Half of us can't even tell you Wonder Woman's origin, and that's because the poor girl has been rebooted time and time and time again to the point where I don't think anybody really knows her origin. I mean, she's been a daughter of clay, she's been a daughter of Zeus, and everything else in between that you can imagine. However, if I have to break down one simple Wonder Woman origin story, it is with one simple and very important book. And if I'm being honest with you, if there's one book on this list you have to read, it's this one. I don't have the book because for some reason I don't actually own it and I'm a dumb loser head, but Wonder Woman Year One by Greg Rucka and Nicola Scott, for me, is the defining origin story of Wonder Woman. Like, if I'm being quite honest with you, when we look at both Wonder Woman and Wonder Woman 84, the inspiration for these movies really does come solely from this book. So Wonder Woman Year One, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a retelling of Wonder Woman's origin, her on Themyscira, her having to navigate her way through the challenges to rescue Steve Trevor and take him back to America after he has crashed, you know, back onto Themyscira. And it's just really great because it's Wonder Woman at, you know, it's her purest is what I want to deem it, because This is Wonder Woman, like, you know, we haven't seen her, but we did kind of see her in the movie. So, you know, we see her on Themyscira, and she's this headstrong, you know, all-can-do person, and she always wants to be the best, and she wants to, you know, prove herself not only to her mother and to her family, but to the rest of the world as this skilled and cunning warrior, which she is, by the way, and we'll talk about that more in a little bit. But then we get her into America, and we get to see her interact with the world. We get to see her interact with Steve Trevor and with Etta Candy, who is absolutely wonderful, and I love Etta Candy. This book also features her first interaction with Barbara Minerva before Barbara becomes the cheetah. And like I said, it's just her kind of interacting with the world, her learning what things are. There's a part where her, Etta Candy, Barbara, and Steve Trevor all go out and have margaritas, and then literally within 15 minutes, Wonder Woman is out saving the world, because that is what Wonder Woman is. This is the defining origin for Wonder Woman. Don't look at Brian Azzarella's run, because that is just hot garbage. And if you want to hear me talk about that, there's another video somewhere on this channel where I talk about how awful that is. But this book is so pure and just so wonderful, and captures Diana the way that we should all see Diana, to be honest, is this pure person who is here for us. She is the people's champion, and that's why I love her as, you know, just a character, and why I think so much of us love her, you know, as Wonder Woman, because she's for us, she's for the people, and this book captures that completely. There are also other reasons why I love this book, and I have to thank Nicola Scott for those reasons. Yeah, if you haven't read this book, you should definitely read this book. There's a wonderful deluxe edition that just recently released within the past year or so that you can check out. Your local library definitely has this one, but again, this is the one defining Wonder Woman story you should be reading. However, there's also another Wonder Woman origin story that I wanted to touch on briefly. I'm not going to talk about it a whole lot, but this is Wonder Woman, The Legend of Wonder Woman, Volume 1 Origins. So this one is another retelling of Wonder Woman. However, Legend of Wonder Woman tends to focus more so on the Themyscira aspects of it. This book is also set during, I believe it's World War I or World War II, whereas Year 1 is set in modern times, and it's a modernized retelling of the Wonder Woman origin story. However, if you're the type of person that wants to dive a little bit more into Wonder Woman lore and want to see more of the Amazons, because some of the Amazon designs in this book is really awesome. If you want to spend some more time on Themyscira and get to know Themyscira a little bit more and learn more about their culture and their way of life, this is definitely a book I recommend picking up. But like I said, if you're just wanting to learn Diana's origin story, Wonder Woman Year 1 is the definitive book. I think Legend of Wonder Woman is more of supplementary material, but like I said, it's got a lot of Amazonian representation, and that's what we're here for, to be honest. So that's Wonder Woman's origin story. Like I said, it can be a little convoluted because she's been around for years, and they do that weird thing where they kind of age her up, because obviously when she debuted in like World War I, World War II, World War II? I don't know. I'm not a history major when it comes to real history. Give me comic book history and I'll tell you whatever you want to know. But real history, I'm not the smartest box in the crown, or smartest crown in the box. My goldfish brain is kicking in, and hi! Those are the books that, if you want to know more about Diana's origin, or if you don't know Diana's origin, those are definitely great books to start off on. Now I'm going to start diving into some of my favorite books, and some of the books that I just feel like are just mandatory reading if you want to know more about the character. So I'm going to start off with a Justice League book, ironically. This is JLA League of One. This is one of my all-time favorite Wonder Woman stories, and I feel like it often gets overlooked because it's a JLA story and not necessarily a Wonder Woman story, but it's actually a Wonder Woman story, guys. Hold on, I'm gonna tell you all about it. JLA League of One is fantastic. It is so freaking good. It doesn't read like a normal comic. If anything, it actually reads more of like a storybook with these gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous painted panels. Like, it feels like something from like the 80s, like those really great 80s fantasy books. It's absolutely wonderful. So Justice League League of One, or JLA League of One, whatever we want to call it, League of One, aka the best Wonder Woman story. It is a story following Wonder Woman, ironically, and she gets these like vibes from her little muse friends on Themyscira, or Greek myth lady people. I don't know, they can tell the future. But she basically gets a warning saying that a big dragon is coming and it's going to kill the entire Justice League if they go to fight it. So what does Diana do? Because Diana loves people so much and loves her friends so much and does not want to see them die. Diana literally goes and beats the crap out of everybody in the Justice League because she knows that these people will follow her if she says, hey, there's a big scary dragon coming and it's going to kill you all. She knows that they'll run into the rescue because that's what the Justice League does. So Diana goes in and single-handedly kicks the ass of Superman, Green Lantern, Aquaman, Batman. Have you ever seen that iconic image of Justice League kicking Superman? That's this book, okay? There you go. That's the reason you need to read League of One, is because this is the book where Wonder Woman literally kicks Superman in the face and he lies down like a little bitch. I'm sorry, Clark. I love you, but those are the facts. So, like I said, this book is just a really great fantasy adventure because, again, it's Diana doing what Diana does best. Saving those she loves, saving those she cares about, and she's doing it by punching her friends in the face. And it's just kind of funny, and it kind of solidifies the fact that Diana is the most powerful Justice League member, and anybody who tells you otherwise, you make them read this book, and they will learn that Diana is the best member of the Justice League. It's a really great book. It's a one-shot story. I know it's been reprinted a couple times, so it can be kind of hard to find sometimes, but your local library might have it, and you can definitely get it digitally on things like Comixology and maybe Hoopla, but Justice League, JLA, League of One, it's a book that I feel like nobody ever talks about when it comes to Wonder Woman recommended reading stories, because people, I guess, get lost up in the fact that it's Justice League, but it's not. It's Wonder Woman. It's a great story, and you should probably read it. I'm telling you to read it. I totally lied, okay? So this book, this one singular book that I don't own for some fucking weird reason. I'm sorry I just sweared, but that is how upset I am with myself that I don't actually own this book. This next book is the defining book of Wonder Woman. When I think of Wonder Woman, I always think of Wonder Woman Hikatea by J.G. Jones and Greg Rucka. Also, you're gonna realize there's a lot of Greg Rucka on this list, because if I'm being quite honest with you, Greg Rucka is like that one person in the world who really understands Wonder Woman, and honestly, if you see his name and you see Wonder Woman, just assume that you should probably be reading it because he's the best. This is another iconic book, and I'll explain why it's another iconic book, and you've probably recognized this book even if you didn't know about the book. Wonder Woman Hikatea, like I said, when I think of Wonder Woman, this is the book that I think of. This one singular book embodies all of what Wonder Woman means. It embodies what Wonder Woman is and how we should view her and how we do view her, if I'm being quite honest with you. So Wonder Woman Hikatea is another wonderful standalone graphic novel. It's actually been reprinted recently as well because it's the best Wonder Woman story, so obviously you gotta let people get their hands on it. But it is a original graphic novel featuring Batman, ironically. So Wonder Woman finds herself with a girl, and this girl comes to Wonder Woman and invokes what is called the Hikatea. And the Hikatea is a, I guess, ancient Amazonian or Greek rite where if somebody invokes the Hikatea, you have to protect them until they see through their duty. And in this book, the young girl is actually being chased and hunted down by Batman because it was found out that she killed somebody. And you find out that the reason why she killed somebody is because they attacked and murdered her sister. So this girl is invoking revenge, you know, and just revenge, if I'm being honest with you. But it's Wonder Woman understanding and Wonder Woman taking care of this girl and realizing that sometimes bad people need to be punished. And again, this is why Wonder Woman's the greatest, because she understands that sometimes punishment and death is the only option, unlike people like Batman, who lets the Joker run around for free for 8 million years and kill 1 million people in the process. But it's Wonder Woman taking care of this girl and doing whatever she has to take care of her, while all the while fighting off Batman and telling Batman he needs to piss off because this girl is now in her care and in her ward. And this book is also famously known, you know, for Wonder Woman standing on Batman's head as he grovels for her and pleads for her to invoke the Hikatea for him, and she's like, nope, not gonna do it. This book is just incredible. It can be a little dense at sometimes because unfortunately that's just the way that Greg Rucka rolls in his writing. However, like I said, this book is the embodiment of Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman Year One is the book that you should be reading if you don't know anything about Wonder Woman, just because it does serve as a great origin. if you want to know who Wonder Woman really is and understand what Wonder Woman means, because there's a lot of books that make her come off as standoffish and kind of, otherworldly and almost untouchable. Wonder Woman Hecate kind of explains why she is the way that she is and kind of, gives meaning to her kind of stoic nature and cold nature. But at the same time, she's also the most caring person on the planet. And it's just a fantastic book that a lot of people hype up, and for good reason, because it is the ideal Wonder Woman book. I also want to take a quick moment to recommend reading Eyes of the Gorgon, which is also by Greg Rucka, and a book that I've read most recently because Emilia was telling me for years, you need to read this book, and I was like, I'll get to it eventually, and I read it, and it is fucking insane. So, to kind of give you the short story, it's Wonder Woman fighting against Medusa, and it's just another book that embodies what Wonder Woman means. It's her going after people and doing what needs to be done for the sake of saving the lives of many. I feel like a lot of these characters, a lot of these heroes like Batman and Superman, they kind of try to take the easy way out and they're not willing to do the dirty work to save those people. But Wonder Woman's here and she's like, if I need to kill somebody to save 10,000 people, I'm willing to kill that one person to save 10,000 people, aka Maxwell Lord. However, Eyes of the Gorgon features one of the most badass and hardcore moments in Wonder Woman history, to the point where I read this scene and I was like, holy shit, Diana is the most badass, hardcore person in the entire universe, and I would literally die for her. I mean, I was willing to die for her anyway, but this book kind of solidified it for me. Now, I will give you a fair warning that I feel like out of all these books that I'm giving you today, because there are quite a few books that I want you to read, I feel like Eyes of the Gorgon might be one of the harder books to read, just because it does throw a lot of characters in there. It throws a lot of Wonder Woman lore into it that sometimes feels a little bit convoluted. I mean, even for me, that I've been reading comics for 10 years now, I feel like I know everybody in the DC universe. I even struggled a little bit with this book, but like I said, there are just some moments that need to be experienced, and it's worth pushing through, at least to the end, because it really does set up the rest of like Wonder Woman, at least for that time period when the series came out. And it's just phenomenal. And I think you should read it because it's really, really good and it's a fun time. And it's Wonder Woman fighting Medusa. And I mean, who doesn't want to see that, Wonder Woman True Amazon is another book that I love a whole lot. This is another original graphic novel done by Jill Thompson. And I feel like I'm kind of in the minority when I talk about this book because I feel like a lot of people don't like this book. However, I love this book because I feel like it shows a different side to Diana that we don't always see. So remember when I was talking about how Diana feels like this untouchable being. It feels like she can do no wrong. She's the best in the world at what she does. And she's just this stoic, kind-hearted person. Wonder Woman True Amazon takes that and throws it out the window and says, no. True Amazon is another original graphic novel, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It's done entirely by Jill Thompson. So very much like League of One, it has this very storybook-like feel to it that I resonate with a whole lot, and I wish we would see more in these superhero comics because it just brings something new to the table, and we love that. However, True Amazon is another soft origin retelling reboot of Wonder Woman's backstory and history. However, in this book, Wonder Woman is a complete and total jerk. She is the daughter of the Amazons. Everybody loves and respects her and treats her as this princess, because she is the only child on Themysciran, but she's kind of a jerk, and she just wants everybody to love her, and she wants everybody to do what she wants for them, and, it's me. However, there is one woman on this island who is like, you know what, you're just like a normal person, and I really don't care, and I don't want to impress you. So Diana gets furious, and she's like, no, you're not going to care about me. I'm going to make you love me. It's kind of gay. I kind of like that. So Wonder Woman's like, you know what? I'm going to enter into this festival championship thing. And it's another origin story of, the great Colossus and Gladiator games that the Themyscirans throw, as we often see in Wonder Woman books. And it's really rad. And she's going to do whatever she can to impress this girl. So Wonder Woman does some things and she ends up cutting corners. And unfortunately, with her cutting corners in this, gladiatorial game, it unleashes this evil upon the world, and it maims and hurts her Amazon sisters, and it even kills some of of them. And at that point, Wonder Woman is then banished and told that she now has to leave the island and go out and defeat all of the monsters and all of the horrible things that she has unleashed on the world. I really, really like this book because, like I said, we often see Wonder Woman as this good-natured, kind-hearted spirit, and it feels like she's a character that always goes off without consequences. Even when she goes to kill people, sometimes she gets off without consequences. But I feel like in this book, it's like, no, you're kind of a jerk. You need to kind of humble yourself, and you need to realize that you are a champion for the people, that you have all of these great gifts, and you are this gift to the world, for lack of a better word. You know, you need to be a champion for the people. And I really like how this sets up itself, you know, to be a Wonder Woman origin story and kind of explain why she's with us and why she's now a hero to the rest of the world. You know, because let's be honest, her being a hero because a man showed up on the island, it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird when you think about it. Steve Trevor is literally a plot device for Diana Prince. True Amazon if you want like a new side of Diana. I feel like not a lot of people pick this book up. I feel like it's kind of slid under the radar all these years, but I do feel like it does just give this really important and powerful message, and I think you would benefit from reading it. So the last book on this list is a book that I feel like everybody's been talking about in Instagram, on YouTube, you know, on Twitter lately. And you know what? It's with good reason. So I figured why not talk about it, because it is just that good. So the last book that I recommend you read, if you've never read Wonder Woman, or if you just want more Wonder Woman, or you just want a really good book, it is Wonder Woman Dead Earth. So this is from the Black Label series. This was originally 3 oversized magazine issues long, but you can now find it as a standalone book. And this is another standalone story for the character. So Wonder Woman Dead Earth is like a complete, like, totally different separate universe, a what if universe, if you will, where everything has gone to shit and the world has been thrown into an apocalypse, and Wonder Woman, for whatever reason, has been asleep for all these years, and now she awakens and she finds herself suddenly in a ruined Earth. And she has to kind of figure out what's going on. And then she finds this like group of people that have somehow survived. And she kind of, you know, steps into the role of being the people's champion and leading them to their salvation and leading them to a safe place where they can live and thrive and you know, redo the earth, if you will. I really like this story because, like Wonder Woman True Amazon, it shows another perspective of the character. I like seeing this. It's going to sound really weird. I like seeing Wonder Woman fail. I like her having to kind of stew in her failures and figure out what it is that she has to do next. Because again, like I said, for the most part, when people write Wonder Woman, they write her as this untouchable being, which can sometimes come off as a little boring. However, in books like Dead Earth and True Amazon, where Wonder Woman is thrust into this unknown situation and she kind of has to struggle and deal with her internal self, I think that these lead for a lot of really great character development. Not to mention Wonder Woman Dead Earth, its style, it's absolutely gorgeous. I love some of the character redesigns, especially when we talk about Cheetah, talk about Wonder Woman herself. I think her design is really, really great. But I also like Wonder Woman Dead Earth because it kind of thrusts like the bad guy evil role onto Themysciran and onto the Amazons. I won't spoil it too much, but I think that that is kind of interesting because I feel like Wonder Woman, the Amazons, and I feel like Themyscira is kind of deemed as this like beautiful paradise. That's why they call it Paradise Island. But it kind of demonizes them and it kind of, you know, shows them off as being selfish. And like I said, if you want a really great Elseworld story, I don't know if we use that term anymore in DC lore, but if you want a really great alternate universe story, if you just want a really great post-apocalyptic story, Wonder Woman Dead Earth is a great and fantastic read. And like I said, there's a reason why everybody on the internet right now is talking about this book, because it is just that good. So that is everything. That is all of these wonderful Wonder Woman reads that I think that you should be reading. I hope that this helped. I absolutely love making recommended reading lists, and I figured, like, why not do Wonder Woman? Because like I keep saying, she can be a very complicated, I'm getting a little tongue-tied here, but she can just be one of those characters that is so hard to follow and so hard to get into because there are so many books. She has been around for like 80 years or so. So there's a lot of things that you should be reading. I also know people are going to get really mad because I didn't feature George Perez books and I didn't feature any of the older stuff. But this is my time to reveal a secret. I don't actually like reading old comics. I kind of struggle reading comics that were published before 2000, so I apologize if your favorites did not make the cut. However, please feel free to leave your favorite Wonder Woman stories in the comments down below. I would love to check out some more Wonder Woman books because, again, Wonder Woman is just one of those characters, and I feel like I've said again 8 million times, what the fuck am I doing? But Wonder Woman is just one of those characters where I always want to get into her, I always want to love her, and I always want to put her as like my favorite character, but I struggle because she is such a complex character. There are so many multifaceted levels of her character, and I realize now that was a very big word for me, but she's a great character. She really is, and not only that, she is the most iconic character. Think about female characters. Wonder Woman is going to be at the top of the list, and yet nobody knows about her. But now you do know, and you know what books that you should be reading. So I'm going to jump on out of here. Also, let me know what other, I don't know, I want to do more recommended reading lists. So throw me characters into the comments down below. Let me know what characters you want me to make recommended reading lists for, and, you know, maybe I'll tackle them. But I will see you in the next video. Bye!
Wonder Woman, Wonder Woman. All the world is waiting for you, and the power you possess in your satin